because our next guest is here to make a delicious Egyptian spinach pie with hazelnut dukkah crust. Yummy. Welcome back to our home, Chef Aarti Sequeira.
Hi. Hi, hi.
Look at how yummy that is.
I know. So this
Aarti.
is my favorite. This is honestly, whenever my mom made this when I was growing up, I would get so excited.
It smells so good.
I
And
know.
I have to be honest, it sort of reminds me of something that my mom makes all the time, spanakopita.
Yeah. Well, it kind of tells you about the history of interaction,
Right.
Throughout that whole region, Egypt,
Greece,
Turkey, Israel,
yeah.
Palestine. Everyone has their own version of a spinach pie.
Sure.
So this one was made by my mom's friend. I hope you like it. And I kind of zhuzhed it up a little bit and made it a little fancier.
All right. Well, Larissa's made her way over here. She's making noises over there. So I think everyone is very happy at the counter.
good. I'm so glad.
So it starts with our spinach. We saute some spinach with olive oil.
Yes, and I put a little shallot and garlic in here.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add a little something to it that you probably add to your spinach pie, which is dill.
Dill.
I love dill. I don't feel like we use enough of it.
It's underrated.
It's got such a great flavor that goes beautifully with spinach.
And people usually don't realize.
It's so fresh and it can really withstand everything else that's going in there. And then I'm going to add nutmeg because whenever I do anything with greens, I always add a little nutmeg. It takes away some of that bitterness. And then the cheese.
So where in Greece you would use mizithra or you'd use feta.
Yeah.
But you're using mozzarella?
I'm using mozzarella
Okay.
because I'm in America now, but also even my Egyptian friend who my mum learned this recipe from used red Leicester, which was an English cheddar type.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she was just adapting to what she could find in Dubai when we were growing up. So you put a lot of cheese in there, so it's really ooey gooey.
It's so good.
And so your kids eat it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's like a cheese pie with a little spinach in it.
Oh, with a little
little bit.
So it's with a dukkah crust. Can you explain what dukkah is?
I'm going to give this to you, and
I'll continue.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull this over. We're using puff pastry, and we're going to put it in here.
All right.
So I'm going to tell you about the dukkah. So
dukkah. See, I can pronounce
in
it wrong.
Arabic, actually, in Arabic it would be dukkah. But that's kind of hard to say, so we say dukkah.
Okay.
So it's a spice blend that has seeds and nuts in it. So it's got coriander, cumin, sesame seeds, and hazelnuts in it. And what you would do is you would get a little plate, put some nice extra virgin olive oil on there, and then run a warm piece of pita through it, maybe some eggs. And so I keep it in a jar, and then I put, you are doing a fantastic job.
You.
What a good soup.
You just have me. I'll be patient whenever you need.
And so I keep it to put on hard-boiled eggs or on salads or maybe on yogurt with a little bit of honey.
So it's all ground up.
It's all ground up.
Just like a seasoning.
Yeah, this is it.
That's it right there.
That's it.
Can I see it?
Curry flavor almost.
Well, that would be the coriander and the cumin together, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Could you use that to crust some sort of meat?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, you could. Yes, you can for my dinner. Thank you very much. Since you're my stew. Okay.
Like fish or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. So we've got another piece of puff pastry on top.
Okay. Now, when you're making spanakopita, I use phyllo dough, and phyllo is so finicky.
It's such a pain in the butt.
It really
I
is.
mean, I love your people, but
it's painful. It's
so
true.
I'm gonna
this
just
is a lot easier.
yeah. So I'm just going to do a very simple rustic fold here. Rustic is code word for messy. And then if you could do brush the egg wash on there, which is just an egg yolk and some water.
As you guys are doing that, I want to ask, I know this recipe originated from a very special dinner party that you had back in Dubai. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I grew up in Dubai, and when we were little, there weren't that many restaurants. So, and one of the ways that we interacted with people from all over the world is you would invite them over for dinner.
Oh, nice.
So one of my dad's really good friends from work is Egyptian, and so you can put it down the middle too as well, Lovey. And so his wife made this spinach pie for a dinner party. My mum came home with the recipe printed out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then she started making it, and it didn't have the dukkah on the top, but I wanted to make it a little extra special.
Oh.
So I put this, wow, that does smell really
Isn't
good.
that beautiful?
I did a good job, you guys.
Well done.
Done.
Does that ever happen to you, where you like look back at
And you
something
say-
you've done, and you're like, wow, I'm actually really good at that. That was great.
You know,
He knows one or two things too, so that's impressive.
we always say Artie's a party. She really is. Okay, how long does that go in?
30 minutes at 400.
Okay.
So you can actually set that up, put it in the fridge, and then when your guests come over and you're,
Pull that out.
you know, entertaining,
Beautiful.
there you go.
And then you add a little something extra as well.
Yes, so go ahead and do that. That's sumac, which is a dried berry that gives it that sort of nice sour flavor. And if you cook the sumac, I think you lose that sourness, so I add it at the last minute.
All right.
And then I
Time
usually eat
to
it with a
cut.
spoon. I don't know
I
about
mean,
you.
I think I would too.
Yeah, good luck getting that out.
Did you
with a
like
knife.
it? Isn't it
It's
good?
delicious.
It's so good.
I love the hazelnuts with it.
And for me, I
Anything
feel
with
like,
hazelnuts.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's just the perfect amount of cheese. Like it's not too cheesy at the
Oh,
same
good.
time. You get that spinach and dill in there.
Whoa, that was a good one.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm just really in love with myself right now.
We are too.
Yeah.
We are too, yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious.
What does your daughter think of this?
My kids love this pie, and it's funny because it would be the kind of thing my mom would always make for us when my dad is out of town, because he's a very traditional curry and rice kind of guy. And I was like, get out of town, get out of town, because I want to eat this pie.